Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now today I have another story time for all you beautiful people. Get ready, this one's an interesting one. How I got arrested in Ibiza. So a few years ago, which was 2 years ago now, yeah, the summer of 2014, myself and two of my friends decided that we were going to go to Ibiza. Yes, we decided to go there. We wanted to have some fun. We wanted to go somewhere where we knew that there will be lots going on, and there was an event put together called Ibiza Loves Afrobeats. So we were like, this is amazing. We get to go on holiday, but also experience a holiday where we know that they're going to play good music. Shout out to all the team that work on Ibiza Loves Afrobeats. It's basically an event that runs every single year, and they take people for a certain amount of money for like an all-inclusive trip for like, you know, for like accommodation, flights, food, what else, and all the activities that you do. So that's what they basically do. 2014 decided that we were going to go to Ibiza. Judge me, whatever you want to do. People will have their opinion on why were you in Ibiza, why would you go somewhere like that. Say whatever you want to say, okay? I always keep my head on my shoulders, and I didn't do anything stupid. Well, other than this little thing, but hey. So yeah, we planned, prepared everything. It was just the three of us. We were like, yes, we're ready. We're gonna go on holiday. We're gonna turn up. It's gonna be so much fun. Everything went absolutely smoothly. Everything went absolutely fine. The activities were great. The music, listen, you know me, you know that I love Afrobeats. So being able to go somewhere where I can listen to Afrobeats every single day and know that I'm gonna be around people who also appreciate Afrobeats that much, it was amazing. Now it comes to about how many days before the end of the holiday? About 2 days before the holiday, okay? By this point, I'd basically already spent most of my money, like the most of my spending money that I bought with me. I had rinsed out my account. Bearing in mind, I rinsed out my account for this holiday. Like, we were like, if we're gonna go in, we're gonna go in on this holiday. So basically rinsed out my account. Yeah, shout out to all the parents that make their kids pay for their holiday themselves. They create very resilient and strong people like ourselves who have to make do with what we've got. Now, we go out to this club, right? It was, I always forget the name of this club. If you're in Ibiza, you need to go to this club because they basically play R&B and hip hop. And obviously clubs out there don't really play anything other than house, because obviously it's a party island, and a lot of the scene, basically the whole scene is house. And that's the reason, that's part of the reason as to why I even went in the first place. Because if it was just, let's go to Ibiza, I would never go because there's nothing out there for me. But because it was an actual Ibiza Loves Afrobeats event, I get to go on a holiday that's a bit cheaper than going to other places where I get flights, hotel, all-inclusive in terms of food and everything like that, and get to go to basically Afrobeats parties and events. I was like, this is going to be a banging holiday, and I'd rather go to that. So yeah. That's the name of the club, I remember. It's called NISSYTEE. That club, yeah, NISSYTEE. You're gonna be like, why were you even there? Listen, I was there in it, and it was popping. That club was amazing. It was an amazing club. They pay, literally, this is how amazing it was. Anyone that lives in the UK will know about Channel AKA, i.e. Channel U. So what was Channel U, now Channel AKA. In the club, how can they have all these plasma screen TVs, different areas of the club, screening Channel AKA? That's how you know it was a bit of a ghetto club. But in Ibiza, because there's not really places that are, let's just say stereotypically speaking, black clubs or black places, what you get, you're like very, very happy with. Now during this holiday, Hannah, I'm even saying names because I just don't care anymore. Like, I'm gonna say your names. Hannah, now we're all in the club, yeah, we're all enjoying ourselves, doing whatever. I'm enjoying myself. Now us three girls, obviously throughout the entire holiday, one thing that we said is, if one goes to pee, we all go to pee. If one person goes to do this over there, we all go that way. If one person wants to go that way, we all go that way. So that's one thing that we say, we're a tag team, okay? We're all gonna make sure that we stick together. Come to NISSYTEE now, we're enjoying ourselves a bit too much. Who was it? Christina is off doing her own thing. I'm not gonna say anything. She's doing her own thing over there. Hannah has gone off doing her own thing. I'm doing my own thing, looking for my friends now. I'm like, wait, hold up, where are my friends gone? So I look around, and then I see Christina in the corner. So I go up to her and I'm like, oh, like, where's Hannah? I haven't seen her in like a couple of minutes. Like, where did she go? She's like, oh, I'm not too sure. She's probably around somewhere, you know, don't know. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I went about dancing,
do my own thing, enjoy my life, yeah, getting it down, enjoy.
About half an hour goes by now, and I'm like, I still have not seen Hannah. Where did this girl go? And obviously, remember, yeah, we said wherever we go, we're gonna let each other know and we're gonna stick together. So I think I went back to Christina again, and I was like, Christina, like, where's Hannah? Like, where has she gone? She was like, oh, I don't know. Like, oh, she'll be fine. Obviously, Hannah's my cousin, yeah, in case you guys don't know, but Hannah's my cousin. So my heart started going a bit like, oh my God, where could she have gone? So I stepped outside now for a minute to go and see if I can maybe see her on the strip. Bearing in mind, this club is on like the main strip where there's literally like clubs next door to each other, just lined up on this massive strip. So I go outside trying to look for Hannah, and there's no one on the streets because obviously it was about maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and most of the clubs like stop their nights around 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So it was still 3, so everyone's still in the club, still enjoying themselves, so there's no one out on the streets. I'm looking around and I don't see her, so I go back into the club. Bearing in mind, you are in a different location, a different city. Is Ibiza even a city? I don't know if it's a city. As you can tell, my geography is awful, but whatever. You're in a different country, island, whatever. You're in a different environment, okay? And you don't know who's around you. You don't know what type of people. You hear all these stories about people getting kidnapped on holiday, you know, all the most random stuff happening on holiday. And I thought, Jesus, I do not want Hannah to be kidnapped or taken for anything. God knows what to happen to her. So we start looking around now on the strip and whatnot. It hits about 5 o'clock now. 5 o'clock is when all the clubs lock off. Everything lock off. All the parties everywhere lock off. Everyone now starts spilling out into the streets. So imagine hundreds and hundreds of people now coming out into the streets, and we're just looking around thinking, where the hell is this girl, and how are we gonna find her in a sea of people? Like, literally, just think about it, an ocean of people. We're never gonna find this girl. So I start hyperventilating, and everyone that knows me knows that I'm a bit of a control freak. I'm someone that panics quite a bit. Like, I'm someone that gets quite anxious about things very easily. So I started getting a bit panicky, and I was just like, oh my God, like, what's happened to her? Where is she? Now, at this point, it was me, Christina, and a couple of guys that we'd met and that we'd made friends with during the holiday, and we were just like all trying to find this girl. And so they were like trying to help me to calm down and trying to tell me like, it's all right, we're gonna find her. Time is going now. There was once hundreds of people on the street. Now all of a sudden people are starting to disappear. It's coming up to about 6 o'clock. The sun is shining in the sky. The sun is out in the sky. About 6, 7 o'clock, right? Where is this girl? Still nowhere to be found. We're sitting there on the side like, what the hell is going on? We don't understand where she's gone. Now, just when we thought life was over, well, at least when I thought life was over, and they go and take a seat on one of the side things, like somewhere you can go and sit down. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, I've actually lost my cousin on holiday. Like, this is very sad. This is very upsetting. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna have to explain not only to my parents, but to my uncle and auntie, and basically tell them that their kid got abducted on holiday. That's generally what I was thinking. So I was thinking about what I was gonna say. Then who do we see just strolling, like nothing ever happened? Oh, none other than Hannah herself. Now, anyone that knows Hannah's the type of person who just doesn't care. She will get angry at you for being worried about her, or she will get angry at you for being angry at something that she did. That's the type of person that Hannah is, but it's all right. You know, it's calm. It doesn't burn as much as it did then. So she's just coming strolling along like nothing ever happened. And it's like, oh, you're right, guys. We're all looking at her like, are you crazy? We have been looking for you for like a good 2-3 hours. We've been worried about you. You didn't tell either one of us where you went, and you're just strolling back as though nothing ever happened. And she was just like, yeah, well, I was only with so-and-so and so, like, it was fine, like, you know, like, I'm not gonna say so-and-so's name, but we know who so-and-so is. So obviously if she just told us that she was with them, we would have been like, oh, okay, that's fine. But she didn't even tell us that. So she was like, oh, I was with so-and-so and so. And I was like, are you mad? Like, what did we say? We said when we come on holiday, we ensure that we all know where we are at all times. And I was just saying to her, like, you do understand how stressed we have been? These guys, they didn't have to stay with us, but they decided to spend hours with us, with myself and Christina, looking for your ass. What the hell is going on? She was just like, yeah, like, why are you guys making it such a big deal? Like, I only went da 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 da. And I was thinking to myself, am I overreacting here? This girl could have been kidnapped. She would have been taken. She could have been taken to be trafficked, raped, be forced into prostitution. I know it sounds very over the top, but you just don't know. You need to be safe while you're on holiday. And if you're not telling anyone where you're going, how can I? Now, I got peed off at this point and I was just like, do you know what? I can't deal with you. You're really annoying me. So I went and did something. One of the guys that we were with, that we made friends with, had a quad bike. So I was peed off and I was just like, do you know what? I can't even deal with you. I just need to go. So I'm like, listen, I'm gonna jump on your quad bike. Do you wanna come? I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Bearing in mind, this is not my quad bike, number one. And I don't have a full license, number two. And number three, a lot of the guys that were there in Ibiza at the time had said, like, literally, Ibiza is the worst for fines and arresting people and whatnot, because they literally just capitalize off of that. They capitalize from making money off of tourists. But you know, I didn't think about any of these things. I was just peed off at Hannah. So I was like, listen, I'm jumping on this quad bike, are you coming? And one of the guys was like, okay, cool. So I sat in front of him and he sat he sat behind me. Jumped on the quad bike, started driving down, thinking I was gangster. One thing I also didn't bear in mind was that this was the main strip. Not some little back roads, the main strip. I'm just driving for, let me say, 2 seconds down the main strip. All of a sudden you hear sirens. And I was like, Lord, no freaking way. The guy was like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Oh, and let me rewind a little bit. Bearing in mind, just before I drove off, Christina was shouting at me like, Nissy, no, don't jump on the quad bike. Like, you're angry right now, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, whatever, I want to get on. Like, she's taking the mic, da, 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 da. And after she was like, oh, at least put on a helmet. I was like, no, I don't need a helmet. I'm trying to act bad. Hey, come down the strip, police siren. The guy's like, oh, let me take control of the thing so it looks like you're not driving. So he then puts his hand on the thing and I'm pretending that I'm just sitting there. He puts his hand and he tries to turn the other way. Then all of a sudden another police car comes the other side. And then we basically get blocked into one of these side roads. And the police comes out of the police car. There's two of them. Brings out batons and says, stop now. We were like, oh my freaking days. That is it, it's over. We stopped, we put our hands up, came off of the quad bike. Then he said,
where's your helmet?
I was like, oh, I forgot it on the side, I'm so sorry.
Oh, do you know that that's a criminal offence to ride a quad bike without a helmet?
I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, like, I didn't realise. He was like,
okay, where's your licence?
I said, I'm finished. I don't have a license. What am I gonna do? He's like, where's your license? I'm like, I don't have one. He was like,
well then I'm gonna have to arrest you then.
I was like, me? Bearing in mind, I just found out just before that I got into Cambridge. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go to prison. This is gonna get me a criminal conviction. Cambridge are not gonna want me anymore. My whole life is ruined. If my parents find out about this, I'm dead. They're never gonna let me go on any other holiday ever again. Bearing in mind, this was my first ever holiday alone with just me and my friends. All of this is going on in my head and I'm like, no, please don't arrest me. No, I'm so sorry. He was like,
sorry, it's not okay, it's not enough. Where's your licence?
I was like, I don't. He was like,
that's 2 offences that you just have now. You're gonna have to come with me and be arrested.
Imagine it's 7 o'clock in the morning, yeah, or 6 o'clock or something. It's like, you're coming with me, I have to arrest you. Put your hands behind your back. I was like, Jesus, I don't want this. I was having the biggest panic attack of life. And bearing in mind, my girls, Christina and Hannah are just watching on like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? All of a sudden, burst out crying. I'm crying like, please don't arrest me. I'm so sorry. I'll do anything. I was begging for my life. I was like, please don't arrest me. Please don't arrest me. Please don't arrest me. Then all of a sudden, something clicked in my head. I don't know what it was, but I realized that I had my provisional license, because one thing that he's mentioned was that we're gonna have to arrest you because you have no form of ID on you either. If you don't have any form of ID, we can't identify who you are, then you're gonna have to come to the police station and stay in a cell until we work out who you are. I went to go get my purse from, I think it was Christina, opened up my purse, gave them my license. They were like, well, this is only a provisional license, this is not a full license, but at least we have some identification now, but you're still gonna have to come with us. I was like, but why? He was like,
you have to pay a fine.
I was like, a fine of how much? He said,
200 euros.
Bearing in mind, this is basically, we've basically gone into the final day of the holiday. I have no more money. I'm like, how am I supposed to pay that? He's like,
I do not care. You either pay or you get arrested.
Pay, get arrested, pay. I'll pay the fine. So I was like, okay, cool, but I don't have any money on me now. He was like, okay, where do you have money? I said, back at our hotel. So I was like, okay, we'll come to your hotel then. I'm like, bruh, you guys really want this money? So I was like, but I don't have it all. I maybe have about 60 something euros. They were like, pay what you can now. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, okay, so can I go? They were like, no, you have to come into the police car. So they took me, put me in the back of the police car like a criminal. They didn't handcuff me or anything, but they put me back in the back of the police car, and they just started driving. And they started talking in Spanish, and I didn't understand what was going on, and I was asking them questions, and at this point I was getting more and more frustrated because they were ignoring me. Like, I was asking them, where are you taking me? How long is this gonna take? What exactly am I paying for? Do you know, just the normal legal questions that you would want to ask before you actually pay out money for anything, even though I knew that I was in the wrong, you know, but I still wanted to ask, like, what exactly am I paying for? Is this actual lawful reason that you guys are arresting me? Does this actually equate to me having to pay a fine and all this kind of jazz? And they were just ignoring me. Then at one point, that one guy that was being very, very aggressive turned around and started shouting at me in Spanish and was like, basically, I think he was telling me to just shut up or that kind of thing. And I was just like, you don't have to be so rude. At this point, I was getting very, very upset because I was thinking to myself, as a human being, I have the right to ask these questions. Anyway, scratch that. We pull up to near the hotel now. Bearing in mind, it's probably about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning now. Sun is blazing in the street. People are out in the street, and I'm coming out of a police car. Everyone's just looking at me like,
Who's that? Oh my gosh. Who's that?
all the boys, especially imagine black boys just looking at you like,
You? Coming out of a police car. What did you do?
by this point, I was vexed. I was angry. My face was just like, me and 2 policemen opening the car door for me, get out of the police car, everyone's staring at me, walking. Then I saw a couple of my friends and they were like, what's going on? And I was like, I was driving without a helmet, driving a quad bike without a helmet and a license. They were like, oh, rah. Okay, then going to the hotel, I see another 2 of my friends that I know as well. They asked me the same thing. I told them the same thing. And then they were like, go and get your money. The police officers, by the way, go and get your money. I was like, okay. I come, I give them the money, I come now, I look at my money. All of the money that I had left was literally 65 euros. I give them what I had. They're like,
okay, well, you have to come and pay the rest of this fine by tomorrow, otherwise you're going to be in trouble, you're going to be arrested.
Again, just being continuously aggressive for no reason. And I was like, okay, but how will I get there?
Find your own way.
So we went back and forth for a little bit, and they got really angry at me. They were like, do you want to, I think one of them said to me like, do you want to be arrested? And I was like, no, I don't, but I have a right to ask these questions. Anyway, long story short, I paid for it then I basically had to go back the next day and get a lift from someone, go to the police station, pay the rest of the fine. Get to the police station the next day, by the way, find out that it's not actually 200 euros, it's 300 euros. So this is about 200 and something pounds, okay? And also I had to borrow, I'm not even gonna say borrow, I had to get some money from a friend. My friend knows who he is. Thank you so much. I had to get money from him because I was literally poverty stricken. And I remember just before I went to go and pay the fine, I tried to call my mum and tried to be like, oh mum, I have no more money left, like I need some money for the next like day, please like help me. She was like, listen, you decided to take yourself on holiday, I'm not about to send you no money for nothing. And I didn't tell her that I got arrested or anything like that. She knows now. Hey, mom. At that point, I didn't tell her that I got arrested or anything like that. I just said to her, like, mom, I need money because I have no more money left. Like, someone, oh, what did I say? I said, someone stole our money from our room, so I have no money left. She was like, well, you decided to take yourself on holiday, work it out. She locked off the phone. I was like, damn, I'm in trouble. So I went to a friend and he was just like, I heard what happened, how much do you need? And he gave me money and I was just like, I love you so much. Thank you, Jesus. Those are people that have your back. You need people like that. And thank God we were all on the same holiday. People like that, he had my back, gave me the money, went to police station, find out it's 300 euros because they had some 100 euro overnight when police work during the night time or something fee, whatever. They just exploit and it's extortionate. It's extortion, basically. And then I was with the guy whose quad bike it was because they had to seize the quad bike, and then we had to pay the fine in order for him to get the quad bike back and give it back to the people in order for them to write off like, yeah, you gave the quad bike back and whatever on your license. I was with him. Luckily, he was like, okay, let me pay the 100 euros and you just pay the rest and we'll just settle it as that, and let me get my quad bike and just take it back. Paid for it, all of that, boom, bam, do the wham, and that was that, and I walked away. But best believe, as soon as I got back to my hotel room, after all that panic and all that horrible stuff, I got back to the room and I was like, right guys, time to continue with the rest of our holiday. And I literally just forgot about it and enjoyed the rest of my holiday and went home and never told my mum or my dad about it. And this is the first time I'm putting it out to all of you guys. But yeah, that was my story of how I got arrested in Ibiza. Please, if you ever go out there or go to any of these other countries, do not ride a quad bike without a full license and without a helmet, okay, because you will get caught. It was the helmet bit that got me caught in the first place. If I had a helmet, they would never know that I don't have a full license. So I should have just been more smart about it. But yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you guys. It's something that I really wanted to tell. But yeah, Ibiza, I don't think I'd ever go again. I've already said that that's like a one-time thing. But I enjoyed myself. Again, like I said, I kept my head on my shoulders though. So even if you're put in a certain environment, it's how you act and how you maintain yourself that is the most important thing. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay beautiful.